happy you're back. Hi Sherry, hi Joan. For those of you that have watched before, tell me if I've worn this sweater on my lives or not. I can't remember if I have or not. I may end up taking it off. It's chilly in here, which is bizarre because it's so nice and warm outside, but I'll take it. That way we can actually wear some knitwear in here. Hi Marcina. Mom's working on her curly Q. Hi Erin. Joan, I don't know if I said hi to you or not. I think I did. Hi anyway. Girls, as you're coming on, tell me what you're working on. Sherry's working on a baby Afghan. Hi Lisa. Yay! I thought I was going to be able to do things on my computer at the same time, but I guess not. So, you get me. I think I figured out how to reverse, I don't know if they call it mirroring, my camera, so when I hold things up they don't look backwards to you. It's still going to take some getting used to that right is left and left is right. And I even did that backwards. Erin, working on binding off slip extravaganza. How many repeats did you do? I couldn't do more than one. One was plenty for me, 900 and some stitches. Hi Tammy. Melissa, I need to restart my shawl society from last night. Yes. Hi Barbara. I bet you guys are having great weather right now. Hi Jackie. Marcina, working on your You Are Enough. Good. I wish I could get more of those. We're going to try and figure out a way to make that pattern maybe just in one or two colors instead of all of them, but they're so gorgeous. We'll give everybody another minute or two. The weather, you guys, this weather is so bizarre. It was gorgeous camping this weekend. It was hot, and now Memorial Weekend looks like it's going to be in the 60s, which is still not bad. As long as it's not thunderstorming the whole weekend, we're going to be camping. So I don't want to have to be under an awning the entire time. Hi Roxy. Melissa is looking for Sarah and Julie. They better be on here. So obviously those who are watching live don't need to tell me that you're watching live, but if you are one of the many who watch this on replay, please put in the comments that you're watching the replay. Hi Nicole. Oh, I love it for those of you that I know on a face-to-face basis that I can put names and faces. Julie, she's talking about her cousin, Julie Rodriguez. But Julie McVicker, I have your shawl here, waiting patiently for you, taunting me because I don't have any more of those kits. So, one more excuse to have to come back and see me. Hi, Mary. All right, it's almost 7 o'clock. Close enough. Depends on which clock you look at, I guess. So we'll go ahead and get started. Happy Monday. This is Monday Motivation for today, May 24th. I am Kristen. I'm the owner of the Little Yarn Shop in downtown Saginaw, Michigan at 203 South Washington inside the SVRC Marketplace. We got so much going on here, you guys. Our marketplace manager told us last week that she has signed leases for any of the spaces that are open. There have been a few, like Big O Burgers. He's been waiting on the okay from the health inspector. Lots of stuff going on. So really cool, very exciting. So a couple little housekeeping things that I wanted to talk about before I get too far into this. One is hours for the week. Memorial Weekend is coming up next weekend. Hours are going to be the same as normal. So Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. I almost said 7. 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. So hours are not going to change for this weekend, which is exciting. I will not be doing a live next Monday. I anticipate that I'm going to be pretty worn out, as are many of you after a long weekend, even if it's just relaxing. Erin, you did the longer one. Oh my gosh. God bless you, my love. Let me grab my water. Sorry. So, sorry, you guys. Too much water too fast. Hi, Diane. So, a few other housekeeping things. I've had a few people ask when the outdoor farmers market is going to start up. They start this week. For those who don't know, the outdoor downtown Saginaw Farmers Market is a completely separate entity from the SVRC marketplace. So all of the vendors inside are here year-round, same hours, we're all open. The outside market just goes from the end of May through the end of October. So we're very excited though that they are opening this Wednesday. For those of you who wanted to know, their hours are Wednesday and Friday 10 to 3 and Saturday 10 to 1. That means if you've been one of those that's taken advantage of parking up close to the building, that is going to have to change, at least on those times. The vendors outside get a little testy about their spaces, I guess is a way to put it. Diane went to a different live. Oh, well, that's weird. Somebody else, Yarn Stop, maybe they're doing one. I'm glad you found your way here. Okay, so that's the farmers market. They're not open Mondays yet. That's not until after the 4th of July. Hi, Christina. Fixing your tub. That doesn't sound like fun. Well, maybe it's fun. If you did it yourself, go you. Last housekeeping thing is talking about masks. I've had lots of people message me, lots of people stop in and ask what the rules are going to be here in the shop now that things are changing. We talked a little bit about it last week after having talked to Deb and Karen. Hi, Mary Kay. Primarily what I've come down to is this whole time I've followed the guidelines and the data that makes the most sense to me. I believe right now that if we weren't as safe as we could be, the CDC wouldn't tell us that we were safe if we'd been vaccinated without our masks. However, I respect that a lot of people, especially a lot of my customers, well, not a lot, but I know that there are some of you out there who have compromised immune systems or for one reason or another are unable or didn't want to get the vaccine. And so what I am asking is if you come in to consider wearing your mask. I'm not making it mandatory. I'm just asking if you see, primarily if it's busy in the shop, please be considerate of other people around. I still have capacity limits. I am still required to wear a mask if I am within 6 feet of anybody else for an extended period of time. I most likely will have a mask on if there are any customers in the shop. Same goes for Deb and Karen. We are still trying to figure out when classes are going to start, but for those of you who have wanted to stop in or have stopped in to get help, we have a chair here. Many of you know that's just sit here for a bit if you need help on something. Anytime anybody's sitting at the table, we ask that you have a mask on. Christina did it yourself. Good for you. So that's where we stand with masks right now. In terms of knitting and group knitting, that can't happen yet in the shop. However, we're really fortunate that within the building there are a lot of other spaces that are kind of community spaces. So the atrium, which people kind of refer to as the food court, has lots of tables and chairs that are spaced out. The front lobby has beautiful windows. It's great for good light if you need it, if you're knitting dark projects or difficult projects. with couches and chairs up there. What the ladies have decided is from 1 to 4 on Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. Probably not on Saturdays, but that it may just kind of happen. But for those of you wanting to know when other people are going to be here, those are the times that we're suggesting or encouraging people to come visit. You can always stop in the shop first, so it'll be similar to how it was last fall or last summer, I guess, when we were able to open things up a little bit. That pop in the shop, ask me if people are knitting anywhere, or call ahead of time if you want, and I can kind of direct you the right way. I'm really hoping to get back to a point where we've got lots of stuff going on in the shop. I just need to figure out how to make that happen safely. So bear with us on that. Okay. That was a lot of housekeeping stuff. If you have any questions about any of that, put it in the comments. Let me know. I want to make sure that I am hearing from my customers always. Okay, let's see. Hours as usual, we talked about that. Okay, so what am I wearing? Mom says she doesn't think I've worn this one yet. I know Bonnie and I talked about it, but maybe that was something different. So this sweater is called After the Rain. No waist shaping, just a boxy long sleeve sweater. The designer is, it's not on my little card, but I think it's Heidi Kiermaier. Melissa, when she posts it, then we'll know. Joan, anything planned for National Knit in Public Day in June? I don't. Have you seen anything about that? The last time I looked online, they were saying it wasn't really a thing anymore, that they were kind of getting rid of that because of LYS Day. But if you've seen things out there, we're all about knitting in public anytime we can. So, interesting. Is it Jody? Is it yarn? So many pretty colors of sock yarn. I know. Look at them. Nope, wrong way. There we go. Sparkles and not sparkles. I guess I didn't have to turn everything, but no, it's not wrong. Please shop away. So the sweater. I throw this sweater on a lot. I like the fit of the shoulders. It feels like a comfy sweatshirt. The yarn I used is Cascade's Roslyn. It's a really great wool silk blend, but like I said, it feels like you get those cozy sweatshirts that I always think of, like old college sweatshirts that I just wore the heck out of, but you can throw it on. It's really nice and comfy. That's how I feel about this. Melissa, Worldwide Knit in Public Day, June 12th. Huh. That's not that far away, is it? Oh, you guys know I fly by the seat of my pants when it comes to planning stuff. I do have a note to talk about the yarn crawl, the I-75 yarn crawl, which is not until August, so I feel pretty proud about that. So the yarn, Roslyn, let me grab one. We have used this for so many things. 65% wool, 35% silk. Sport weight, they are 100 grams, 382 yards in these. So really great yardage for the yarn. It is a discontinued yarn, so when I found out Cascade was discontinuing it, I bought all that I could manage at the time because we like this yarn so much. So unfortunately what I have is all that I can get, but I've got quite a bit. Charlene, like my sweater. Thank you. That's what I was just talking about. The After the Rain. So it uses two colors. Obviously this is not the same two colors, but that's just an example. I wonder if, let's see you guys, this might be my This might be my little test to see if I can turn you around and show you the colors. If I disconnect everything, I will, I'll restart, but hopefully it shows me the little turny around thing, so we'll see. Why did they discontinue? I don't know, Diane, I think they came out with a different, I know they changed mills. That was one of the things they've been doing, is changing mills, and so maybe the new mill wasn't able to do the same sort of thing. Okay, so let's see. Bear with me here if I can turn this around. Haha, there we go. So all of these in the cubbies are roslyn. They all have pretty tweeds in them. So that brown on the top there is the brown that's in my sweater that I'm wearing. Lots of purples and yellows. Not those down there. These, everything looks a little blue, but those are gray, not blue. There's the white that's in mine. This really cool blue, oh, sorry, black with blue flecks in it. So those are the colors I have left. The pink and denim blue, I know. There are just so many really, really cool colors. All right, let's flip you back around. Maybe. Okay. Ha! I tried something new, you guys. I'm pretty proud of myself on that. I think back when I first opened the shop, I tried to do that, to flip my camera around, and I ended up ending my video. So this time, I was a little more careful. Carrie. Running pink and light blue, yes. Tammy, no, you did not miss the price. These are $15 a piece. So, my size took 2 of each color, I believe. Sounds about right yardage-wise. If you look at the pattern link that Melissa posted, you'll have a little bit more information, but really, I mean, this is a $60 sweater, and it was a really, really nice knit. Diane, I like the dots of white or colors in the yarn. Yeah, it's like tweedy, but not, because it's little flecks of silk, so it's a different look than a tweed. It's really soft. Hand wash, although I did have somebody tell me they washed it and dried it, but I don't recommend that because I had somebody else say it wasn't a good thing. I'm trying to aim you guys down a little bit without screwing anything up, having my phone fall over, because I forgot that I have a tripod that Christina loaned to me. I couldn't, oh, you guys, it's been a couple weeks, I tell you what. I couldn't remember how I did it last week, and now I do remember that Christina loaned me a fun tripod, so I didn't have to try and prop things up. Carrie, I washed it, but the best thing. I don't know what you mean by that. So that's what I'm wearing after the rain. What am I working on? Well, I'm working on my blanket, my curly Q. Making progress. Still smells like campfire. I didn't knit on it as much when we were up north this weekend, but I'm okay with that smell. Doesn't bother me, but not the best thing. Okay. Maybe you're the one that told me that. I have to make sure I don't pull anything out. I got lazy, and instead of putting my stitches on on a cable, I put them just on another needle and tied it up there. So sometimes it gets in the way. But I have 2 star points now. Whoop. There we go. Now I have to get used to this backward thing. So 2 different colorways. The one in the middle, nope. This one here is Cumulus Dappled, so it's just a speckly gray. Everything that's on the outside shells, on that side, on this side, the grays, the browns, kind of the blue grays, all that is the same color way of yarn. I love yarns that are either self-striping or color changing like this, because it's one of those things that I talk about a lot, where if we find a project, I like to find projects that look more complicated than they are, and this yarn helps with doing things like that. The pattern itself, we've been doing as a knit along. Deb's had a few ladies popping in on Saturday to get started on the next section of it. We were doing Thursday Zoom knit alongs. I think that's on hold for right now until we figure out the best way to make it work. It was working a little bit, but it depends on the project, that sort of thing. Tammy's so in love with it. Good. Diane, thank you. I really enjoy it. So that's the curly Q, one of the things I'm working on. The other fun project I'm working on, we talked about spring and summer sweaters, and I found this pattern called Sorrel. And I think we talked a little bit about it last week, because I know, maybe not. Joan, maybe we just talked about it while you were in here. I know you and I talked about it, so I can't remember. But the designer, Wool and Pine, has the Sorrel. See that pretty texture? So this is the summer Sorrel. She has Sorrel. I'm just gonna say it the way I say it. Yes, in the store, okay. So I didn't talk about it last week, good. The original pattern from this designer was just called Sorrel, and it was a fingering weight held with a mohair, and I had some ladies, Joan, Nancy, a few others actually interested in that. Now the designer came out with a spring version, and now this is the summer version. So a little bit lighter weight, a little bit looser gauge. Again, this is one that is top down. It's not raglan. The increases are built into the patterning of it, but because it's top down and you put your sleeves on waist yarn, you can make the sleeves as long or as short as possible. You can make the body of it as long or short as possible. All of the patterning is done up in the top. Supposed to be done all prior to splitting for the sleeves. So then it's just knit away. So I need a bigger cable, but of course don't have a bigger cable on here. But I can show you what I do have. I just split for the sleeves last night. I have like 3 rounds past my sleeves done. This is in one of the new yarns that I just got. Look at that cool texture. Isn't that fun? They're slipped stitches. The technique takes a little getting used to, but it's still really cool. The cast on alone is something that I've never done before. It's an I-cord cast on, but done in a different way. I've really only done it with Stephen West's patterns, I believe. And this one's unique. The designer does have links to tutorials, which is really, really cool. For both the stitch and the cast on. Lisa, beautiful, thank you. Melissa, I can't wait to start doing this along with a ton of other things. So one of the reasons I picked this yarn, it is a merino nylon yarn, like sock yarn per se, fingering weight, but it's a really lightweight one, and it feels like light cotton in a good way, not like we don't want to knit with cotton, because it does have the stretch of wool. So what I was saying is that you're supposed to be done with all of this patterning prior to splitting for the sleeves. However, I didn't gauge, and I gauged with my eyes, you know, one of those, oh, that's gonna be fine. And I think fit-wise, it will be fine. And one of the checkpoints along the way is when you get to the part where you split for your sleeves, she tells you how much depth you should have. And I was there sooner than I needed to be. So I'm having to carry my patterning down into the body a little bit. Not a big deal. Because it's charted, I just continue to follow it. And it's an easy repeat all the way around. Love the color. So here's one of those fun things to see what it looks like in the skein versus what it looks like knit up. Isn't that fun? So this new yarn was a one batch thing. So they're gonna be like a division of Earth Yarns. So my rep from Earth Yarns contacted me and said, hey, we did this limited run thing. Is it something you'd be interested in? Of course I said yes. So they're calling it Gusto. I'm gonna say Gusto because it sounds cooler. Gusto wool, speckled sock. These, like any hand dyed, it says machine wash in cold water, lay flat to dry. I haven't done a swatch and treated it, but it's 440 yards, 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon, 100 grams. I don't like it when they don't give me color names. This is color 1106, but that's the one that I'm using in the sweater. Isn't that cool? So I was able to get 2 bags is all I could get of each color. So that's 10 skeins of each color total. And the best part is they're $18.99 a skein for a hand-dyed merino nylon wool. Spun by Earth. They know what they're doing. It's a really cool yarn. It's not as squishy as their normal, like the unique fingering. It's a little bit different than that, but that's what I was saying. It feels kind of like a lightweight cottony. So, do you guys want to see the other colors? There are 8 total. Right? 2, 4, 6, 8. So there's the light pink. We're going to call this light pink. Oh, and yardage. If you're interested in using this yarn for the swirl, the summer swirl that we're talking about. See, Carrie, I'm just delaying it now. Diane, strawberries and dirt. Oh, it does kind of look like strawberries and dirt. Even if you had like the little strawberry blossoms. Ah. So, finished measurements of that sweater go from a 34 to a 68 inch bust. And you would need, the range is 830 to 1900 yards. So anywhere from 2 to 5 of these is gonna get you that sweater. And just keep in mind, that is knitting it the way it's written. So if you want longer sleeves, you would need more. If you want a longer length, you would need more. This shows the length as 14 inches and the sleeve length as 2 inches. So keep that in mind. But anywhere from 2 skeins, the smallest 2 sizes, 34 and 36, call for 2 skeins. 39, 40, like 39, 41, 44, 46, 49 all only need 3 skeins. So there are a lot of good sizes. Really cool yarn. Again, $18.99. As far as I know, just a one-time run. That's what they told me. They did this once, wanted to know if I wanted some of it, and I said yes. So this is color 1106. I think if they're all 11s, I'm not even going to put that on there. They are. Okay. So the lighter pink. Then there's this fun bright one with the bright pink and the blues and the yellows, and they all have this really cool speckle in them. So this is color 808. So you can see the difference. One's a little bit lighter, one's a little bit brighter. I know I'm not going in number order, but I'm trying to kind of group colors together that are similar. So greens, 2 greens, and they are both gorgeous. I couldn't decide what color I wanted to make my sweater out of. So here are the 2 greens. This kind of olivey green with this these little bright blue speckles or pieces, and then the brown, even some grays. That's color 2. The olivey one is color 2. Whoop, sorry. I'm still getting used to this whole reverse camera thing. Color 1 is this brighter green with the blue and a little bit of brown speckles. They all very much remind me of spring and summer. So the 2 together so you can see the difference between the bright one, color 1, and the more olivey one, color 2. So pretty. I should say, if there are any that you are interested in, put in the comments how many you want and whether you want to pick them up or have me ship them to you. Again, $18.99 a skein. Definitely doesn't have to be for that top. It's a standard fingering weight yarn, so you could use it for the, there we go. The Magical Thinking, which is a Casapinka over the head shawl, uses 3 skeins. Could use it for one of those colors, or a couple of them for different colors. Erin, the brighter green with the blue. I know that blue in there is just so pretty. Speaking of blues, I have 2 kind of 3. Kind of 2, kind of 3 blues. I don't know how to say it. So these 2 are my blues, are my real blues. I'm gonna call them real blues. This light one is color 4. Kind of a baby blue with speckles of blue and brown. And then again, so the overarching theme in these, except for 3 of them, I guess, is a main color with that intense blue and the intense brown in there with it. So this is color 5. So it's a brighter blue, and then still it's got those bright patches in there, those brown patches. If you knit it in a sweater, I know it's hard to see in this because of the patterning, but that's also kind of what makes it fun. If you just knit stockinette, let me see if I can flip this a little bit. So there's what you would get if you just knit stockinette with it. So maybe 3 or 4 stitches in a color before you got back to whatever that background speckle color is. Okay, so this is color, the light one is color 4. That one's color 4. This one's color 5. Yes, Mom, the color 5 is right up your alley. Tammy, be patient. Tammy's asking if there's purple. So the one that I said is blue-ish. I mean, it's turquoise. It's not blue, it's turquoise. But look at this. This is the only one that doesn't have other colors speckled in it. So it's all different shades of that pretty, pretty turquoise. It's gorgeous. This is color 3. Mom, color 5. How many do you want me to put aside? And Melissa, I need to know which, you said the green with the blue, but they both have green with blue. So, Erin, I know this turquoise is gorgeous. I had such a hard time deciding which yarn I wanted to use to make my sample. I want to make them all. Mom, 3. Okay, got it. And last but not least, color 7 is purple with the blue. And there is brown. Let me find it. There's some brown in there. And then it also has this really cool, kind of like a slate gray. So let me see if I can. Erin, the yardage is 440 yards. So 100 grams, 440 yards, 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon. made in Turkey. So this one's color 7, the beautiful, beautiful purple. Isn't that fun? I love doing that. I love watching videos of dyers doing that too. So you can see what it looks like in the skein. There's this chunk of the blue. When you're holding something in the skein like this, and you see a little piece of blue, some people think that means it's going to be like a section in their knitting that's all blue, like it's going to be purple for a while and then blue and then purple again. That's not what this is going to do. This is going to give you, like I showed you, 3 or 4 stitches in that blue before it jumps back to the purple again. You need to think about each of these as an individual strand where it's going to change relatively quickly. So that's the primary. It does have this beautiful brown in there, and then that really cool kind of purpley gray. Dyed strawberry dirt. Excellent. Oh, I'm so glad you guys like this. You ladies like this. I just think it's beautiful stuff. I'm trying to do like the dyers do. I watch them all the time, re-skeining yarn. Carry 2 skeins of 5. All right. Like I said, as far as I know from my sales rep, I cannot get any more of this. It was a one-time thing. Hopefully that changes, but I'm not sure. Jackie, 3 of the purple. All right, got it. Melissa, she's such an amazing helper. An amazing, what did I say you were? Yarn shopper for you. She's your personal, like your little concierge. Tammy, need the purple, want to make the over-the-head shawl. Okay, we can pull some other colors. I mean, there's lots to work with in this. I was playing around a little bit, and then I ran out of time, but you know, this wall behind me, look at all that. All of that is fingering weight yarn. I feel so bad for those of you that aren't here local and you can't come in and see it and squish it all in person. For the turquoise for Erin. Okay, excellent. I'm hoping Melissa's tracking all of that. So while I was playing, I took one of the skeins that I'm using for mine and thought, okay, if I wanted to do something like that, the magical thinking, or the other one is All Point South, same shape, same yardage, just different patterning in there. Barbara, you just need to come back into town on a day when I'm here and open. It's not much to ask. So look at how fun that would be. Kind of this buttery yellow. It's definitely lighter, but that's kind of what I wanted because I want contrast. I don't want it all to blend in. And the same with the darker chocolate brown. It's a little bit darker. So lots of ideas. If you can't come in, let me know. I love texting pictures back and forth. I really try as much as possible to get accurate colors. Diane, let me know if some of the things you've gotten, if they're what you expected when you opened them. I'm curious to know how things looked on the live or when I've sent you photos versus when you get them in the box. So let me know. Melissa, hold up the 2 greens. Color 1. Color 2. Let me make sure I'm not just making stuff up. Yeah. So color 1's the bright. Color 2 is the olivey green with more of the blues. Looks like the olivey green one, color 2, has more blue in it, and then it's got kind of the grays and browns. Donna, I'm late. What top do you have on? This is After the Rain by Heidi Kiermeyer. Color 1. Excellent. So again, I was only able to get 10 skeins of each color, and when they're gone, they're gone. Of Of course, you guys always know that I'm getting different yarn all the time, so it's not like it's gonna be the last box of yarn I ever get. But for these, hi Tammy, good, I'm glad. Melissa, color one, Mary Kay drooling. It's all gorgeous. Very much as expected. Love the feel of the yarn and colors I've received. Good. I really do try, if you're not local, to be able to, like I said, text pictures back and forth. The shop phone is an iPhone, so it's easy enough to send pictures either through texting, Facebook Messenger, Instagram, all different methods. I'll get pictures to you, and I'll get yarn to you any way I can. I don't really put much on the website because I'm pretty much a one-woman band, and I can only do so much. So those are the yarns and the project that I'm working on with them. And I wanted to go over a couple things. I mentioned briefly about the I-cord cast on with, ooh, hang on, I lost a bunch of stitches. So let's talk about that for a minute. When I was moving things, my stitches fell off the needles. So what am I gonna do? Not panic. That's the first thing I'm not gonna do, is panic. But I tend to kind of pinch below. I know it's kind of hard to see, you guys, I'm sorry. And thread. Whoop. Well, there's not a good way for me to do this, show you and see what I'm able to do at the same time. Pop them back on there. The most important thing is getting your stitches on the needle. If they're not oriented correctly, that's easy enough to fix. What do I mean by oriented correctly? Think of your stitch like a pair of pants. Let's see, can you see that? So there's a left leg and a right leg, and they're straddling your needle. You always want, not always, 99.9% of the time, you want the right leg in the front and the left leg in the back. So if you're correcting something, unknitting something, and you see that it's backwards, simple enough to flip it around. Here's one of my little tidbits. One of the things I really like about this designer is, many of you know, I do not like purling. It's a necessary evil sometimes. I'm very sloppy with my purls. That's why I can go so fast, because it's not technical. But and the entire body of this is in reverse stockinette. So you see the purl on the outside of your work, and the inside is all just the knitting. Once you split for your arms, she tells you to flip it inside out and go the other direction and knit the body of it, so you don't have to purl the entire body of the sweater. I was going to do it anyway, but I'm glad she put it in the pattern, because now I don't have to try and explain it to people. I separated for my sleeves. I did mention that. If you knit Portuguese. Tammy, I know Portuguese purling is easy because you're just flicking it. I'm a creature of habit. I do try and learn new things all the time. Portuguese knitting is, I don't know. I need to try it again. But let's talk about putting sleeves on a holder or on waste yarn. I almost always use a cotton scrap yarn. So this was from, I don't know, something I did. And I make the piece big. I want to be able to put these stitches on a larger needle or a couple needles and try it on. The only way I can get my arms in my sleeves is if I have them stretched out enough that I can get my arm in there. Mom, show the I-cord cast on, or Norwegian. Joyce, Norwegian is not faster. It is more consistent, that's for sure. The row tracker. Yes, I'm going to talk about that too, Melissa. Mom, I don't know if you were talking about the technique or showing it, but so here's the I-cord cast on. It's a rounded edge. Gives a really pretty look. I don't want to talk too much about it because I don't know if it's, I'm sure it's common knowledge, but I need to research that a little bit. I don't want to give away trade secrets for the designer. Paid for patterns are paid for because designers put a lot of work and time into what they're doing. So Melissa was talking about the row counter. Look at my pretty bling on here. Where is it? There it is. You see that? Have you seen this kind of row counter before? The little chain? I've seen kind of boring ones online, but the benefit of having the bead store here is that she makes me really pretty sparkly ones. So they're numbers from one at one end, 0 down at the other, which is technically like your 10. Every time I knit around, I can flip it to the next number. So right now, I can tell you I'm on row 13. I have this little removable lobster claw that counts my 10s. And then this one up here shows me that I'm on 3, so 10 plus 3, obviously. They're really, really cool. Sometimes they do tend to get snagged in my yarn, so I'll clip them up a little bit, but they still work just as well. This pattern, the way it's written, there are sections where it's like purl 1, knit 3 for 6 rows. I don't like things to slow me down, so this is perfect. And then they've got a chart that's a 37 row chart, so I could use this, keep track, pick it up and put it down and not have to worry about a sticky note falling off or anything like that. Melissa, I've seen it at your shop. Sarah gifted me one for Christmas. Awesome. I do have a few here. I have 3 left. They're $20 a piece. I have, of course, and they're stapled shut, but I can show you. So, little row count markers. I have blue with silver. I have one that is brass gold with pinks and reds. I stapled the bags shut, otherwise I would take them out and show you guys. And then I have this gray, this is beautiful, black and gray and silver. If you want one of these in a color that I don't have, let me know, and it's easy enough to work with Sarah over at Purple Sage to have her make me some more. So if you're interested in one of those, let me know. Post it in the comments too. $20 a piece. And I love the fact that you're supporting multiple small businesses. You're supporting me, I'm supporting her. It's great. All right, so we talked about different techniques with that. Francine, blue with silver. All right, I will set it aside for you. I wanted to kind of start a segment that is like little tips and tidbits that have come up throughout the week at the store. So this week we had quite a debate about, not a debate, a discussion about binding off stitches. In the middle of a pattern when it says to bind off 16 stitches. Does that mean you work over 16 stitches? Like you can count 16, put a marker there, and that's where you're going? No. Most of the time. Depending on what bind off you're doing, if you're doing a standard bind off, knit 2 stitches, pass 1 over, your bound off stitch is not complete until you've flipped it up and over and off the needle. Completed the process, as Peggy said, which is perfect. So that tripped me up for a long time when I was making like little girls tops that had where you bound off for the sleeves and then worked your way around. I always had to stop and figure out how many stitches I needed at each point after before I made sure I bound off the right stitches, which is still not a bad idea, but in this case, the pattern said bind off 16 stitches. That means you're going to use 17 stitches. That last stitch isn't getting flipped over, but you need it to complete the 16th. bind off. There are so many different cast-ons and bind-offs. They make books about them. Different ones are great for different purposes. You don't want to bind off a shawl too tightly and not be able to stretch it out. Just doesn't look very good. Luckily, Barbara learned from mine and who was it? Chandra, I think, when we finished our on the shoulders shawls, that you need to pick up and bind off more stitches on that one, otherwise it gets a little bunchy. Jackie, just here to say hi. Hi! All right, let's see. I've got a couple minutes left. So, stay tuned next week. Well, no, in 2 weeks, because I won't be on next week, but keep an eye on the Facebook page, and I really am going to try and get a June newsletter out to everybody, because I know there are some people that don't get on Facebook, and I still want to be able to communicate with them. But we'll figure something out for Knit in Public Day. The I-75 yarn crawl, I found out this past week, is a go this year. As far as I know, there is no charge for participants. The passport, as they call it, is going to be all digital, so you'll have access to it, and each of the shops goes as far north as Bay City and as far south as Kentucky or Tennessee, whichever one is further south. Michigan, Ohio, Tennessee, Kentucky. You guys, there's a reason I play with yarn all day. Geography is not my strong suit. I can math a little bit. But it's fun. So that goes July 30th through August 7th. It encompasses 2 weekends. It's a Friday through the following Saturday, which I think is great. Gives everybody a time to get in there. I love seeing people from out of town. Erin loved the yarn crawl the year I did it. Yes, it is really fun. I love meeting people from out of town. I did not participate last year. I was too hesitant and didn't feel it was a good idea to be encouraging people to come from out of state into the store when we had no idea what was going on. Diane says Tennessee is further south. Okay, so from Bay City, Michigan, all the way down to somewhere in Tennessee. I think she said at this point there are 26 or 27 shops participating. Most of the shops do something a little bit unique. Joan, am I participating? Yes, I am. Diane, interested in the roslyn? Not sure. Okay, yep, we'll talk about that. Yes, I am participating this year, and I am doing something different, something that I haven't done before. Some of you who have been around for a little while know that I have worked with Brenda and Heather Yarns to do custom colors. In the past, I had done it for Worldwide Knit in Public Day. They are one of the dyers that I'm working with, but I'm actually trying to work with 3 dyers to get custom colors that will be released the week of the yarn crawl. August happens to be also the shop's 6-year anniversary, so it's kind of a double dip celebration on that. So that's coming up. That's about the only thing I have planned further than a week in advance. I need a bigger staff. Okay, I'm just looking at my notes to see if there's anything else I forgot to talk about. I had more things, but that'll have to be for next time. Yes, the yarn crawl, the farmer's market. All right. I think that's it. Again, if you're watching this on a replay, please still leave me a comment. Let me know. I like hearing where everybody's from, what they're working on, and to know that I'm virtually talking to people at least. So a reminder, I won't have a Monday Motivation next week because it's Memorial Day. Hours are the same this weekend, Wednesday through Saturday, 10 to 6. And hours are the same next week, Wednesday through Saturday, 10 to 6. So it's just that I won't have the Monday. Melissa, I wish I could quit and work for you. Oh, I wish I knew a single doctor you could marry. Erin coming Thursday. Excellent. All right. I will make sure I set that aside for you. I hope everybody has a great week. Enjoy the weather. I know it's supposed to get hot and then cold again, but I don't care. It's not snowing, so I'm happy. I hope everybody has a safe and happy Memorial weekend. Remember what it's about. Hug the ones you love, and keep in mind the ones you can't hug anymore. Have a great day. Have a great week, and I will see you all 2 weeks from tonight. Have a good night.